Hello everybody and welcome back to another wonderful episode of Guapish Rule 34. As always, I'm your host Tanner, and today I'm joined by an extra spooktacular cast, including our very own American werewolf in Oregon, Nico.
So, men get called gay for being in touch with their feminine side, you know? But, just imagine being so in tune with a girl that you can sensitively turn her around and
Interesting. Also joining us is our ghost of Halloween's past, Jackson.
Nico makes it really hard to do follow-ups because he's just got these absolute showstoppers, and then I've got to say some bullshit right after it. Anyways, I am pretty pale, so I think it's a pretty apt description.
And there we go. And finally joining us, Frankenstein's little monster, Dylan.
Hey, I may be a little in size, but I got a big ol' heart, I can guarantee you that.
A big undead heart, revived by magic. I've never read Frankenstein. Is it magic?
No.
No, it's science.
Fuck. God.
Practically the same in some people's eyes.
If I just rewrote the entirety of Frankenstein but made it magic but changed nothing else, could I release that as my own original work?
Yeah. I mean,
Probably.
Frankenstein is already public use, so...
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want with it.
I can just copy and paste it and start selling it?
I guess so.
Well, maybe not exactly the way it is, but...
You can. I don't think you'll really make much from that, though. I'm sure there are plenty of companies who have published Frankenstein in the past, so people have lots of different options of reading it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I surely I'll make more than zero.
I'd imagine there's quite a bit of publishing that goes into that, Tanner. There's a lot of there's a lot of production that you're not thinking of.
I think all I have to do is make a really cool cover.
I mean, you still have to pay for manufacturing costs and all that, too, and shipping and all that.
Yeah, but that,
the cover will draw them in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if that's what we're focusing on, then.
What if... Hold on, Nico.
Yeah.
I know we've completely abandoned the side gig challenge.
Oh.
You should just take public domain books, make a cool cover for them, and then just try reselling them on Amazon.
I'm not going to do that, but it's a fun idea.
That does sound
I feel like it would
interesting.
work, though. I feel like that's free money.
Yeah, I guess I can see it, just I don't know, make a really cool cover for the story of Prometheus or something like that, just a big old strong man taking a fire, giving it to a small little dude like Dylan, maybe. I feel like that could work.
Yeah, and I believe Amazon has their thing, Amazon Publishing, where you can literally just upload the text and your cover art and shit, and then they handle all the other stuff.
Gotcha.
So I feel like there's definitely something here. I think there's something to that. Now, Tanner, what do you think is the likelihood that no one else has ever had this idea before?
You never know until you try.
Well, at the very least, no one has had the idea and been successful at it before, which means we could be the first ones.
There you go.
Fair enough.
I also want to point out, just because you guys are tall doesn't mean I am small.
Comparatively though.
Compared to you guys, I'm small,
mean that.
but I am not small by the measure of an average person.
Well, Dylan, have you taken into account I was more so comparing you to the original Frankenstein's monster, which is quite tall?
I was mainly referring to what Nico just said about Prometheus hanging it to a small person like me.
Oh, okay.
Whatever that
The
statement
original
was
Frankenstein was
supposed to mean.
actually 40 feet tall, which is something that people don't talk about very often.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I wish that was true. That's very funny. What if we rewrite Frankenstein, but he's a kaiju this time?
Ooh.
Would you watch a kaiju Frankenstein movie?
I feel like it'd be interesting. I'd question how you would make that come to reality in that universe. Like, where did the body parts come from? Like, maybe they used body parts from all the old gods.
Dr. Frankenstein just hit a couple extra graves,
I'd prefer to think of it as he just took the body parts and he threw them into some water or something, increasingly large volumes of water. They're like those little dinosaurs that you throw in there and just they keep growing.
I gotcha. That makes sense. I could stand behind that idea.
Dylan, here's another idea I'd like you to stand behind. I have a hypothetical here for you.
Oh God. All right, what is it?
Let's say that you see Jackson hanging from a cliff.
Uh-huh.
And before you're able to help him out, you also see that Markiplier is also hanging from the cliff as well.
Uh-huh.
Who are you going to choose to save? You can only save one of them. If you save one, the other one falls into their death, okay?
Okay.
Who are you helping up here, dude?
Jackson.
Why Jackson?
Because I know Jackson.
Yeah, but
He's my
Dylan,
friend.
Markiplier sees you and he says, "Hey there, Dylan, it's Markiplier. I am in a very precarious situation here right now, and I need your help."
This is a real cliffhanger, if you know what I mean.
Look, Dylan, I have 2 children, okay? They're gonna be fatherless if you just let me die.
Yeah, this is also assuming Jax is probably saying something in the relative vein to this, so it's not like
I'm just screaming bloody murder. I'm just freaking the fuck out.
I would save Jackson.
I'm desperately screaming.
You're
for my
assuming
life.
in this situation that Jackson is not saying anything to me whatsoever.
You already know everything you need to know about Jackson, Dylan. Markiplier's the one who really needs to sell you here.
This is a terrible hypothetical, and I gave you my answer.
Fuck you!
Dylan, wait. I got it. Wait, hold on. I got a better hypothetical that's just like this one.
Let's go.
Dylan, you're walking next to a cliff, and then you hear 2 small voices crying out for help. You see a Palestinian child and an Israeli child hanging from a cliff. You're only able to save one. Which one do you save,
Well,
Dylan?
this isn't fair, because Palestine is kind of just an innocent bystander, and Israel's the one's under fire right now. So that's kind of a complicated question to answer.
Oh damn! He's actually has to.
You have to save one of them, Dylan. Do you save the Palestinian child or the Israeli child?
If I save the Palestinian child, that means I'm ignoring the Israeli child, and then I'm seen as like, we don't care about Israel. Therefore, what does America care? Or if I save the Israeli child, then it's like, then the Palestinians are just like, oh, well, obviously they're not interested in helping us, even though we have nothing to do with this. So like, what the hell? So I am gonna choose. I will save the Israeli child.
You heard it here first, folks. The Guapish Rule 34 podcast is 100% pro-Israel. Fuck Palestine. We hope you die like fucking dogs.
Jeez.
We're gonna throw you off the cliffs like you throw gay people off of rooftops.
Oh my god.
Okay, Dylan, follow-up hypothetical here for
my
you.
God.
You're walking by another cliff, just as you do, you know. It's what you tend
These
to do
are
in your
all
free
one
time.
after the other, by the way.
This is a rough day for
And
him.
hanging from the cliff, you see Tanner's grandfather. He's there. He needs to be helped up. And then you also see Superman.
Does he know
with
it's
a
my grandfather?
He immediately tells Dylan that he's your grandfather. You also see Superman
help me.
with a kryptonite stone plunged into his heart, okay? He's in desperate need of help as well. He can't lift himself up. He's so weak right now. Who do you save?
Well, I'd save Tanner's grandfather, because it's been shown that Superman can be revived even if he's had kryptonite stabbed into him.
He tells you, Dylan, I'm in dire straits
Shut
here.
up,
I will
Nico, your
surely die if you do
hypotheticals
not
suck. I
save
answered
me.
your question.
Dylan, these are important follow-ups, okay?
I don't care. I answered your question. Stop making the question more difficult after I've already answered it.
Too bad.
Dylan.
Answer the new rendition of the question.
Too
Do you still
bad.
save Tanner's grandfather?
Yes.
Superman will not be saved.
If the logic that I said makes sense, then yes, I still save Tanner's grandfather.
It doesn't, though, because Superman won't live.
Yes, he will. It's been proven
No,
otherwise.
I just told you it won't.
Well,
Do
that
you still
sucks.
save him?
Stop adding conditions after I've answered the question. That's a terrible hypothetical.
No, fuck you.
You're just mad because I'm right.
Dylan, no, you're actually wrong. Dylan, all you have to do is pull the kryptonite out of Superman's chest, and then even if my grandpa goes plummeting to his death, Superman will be able to fly over and save him.
Doesn't it take Superman longer to recover from kryptonite, though, than that?
No, he recovers instantly. Everyone knows
I
this.
don't think that's true at all.
Superman can jump off the cliff and recover as he's falling in order to save my grandfather.
Here, what I'm going to assume in this situation is I could rip the kryptonite out of Superman's chest and then leave him and then go save your grandfather. And then by the time I save your grandfather,
That's not
he
how
should be...
hypotheticals work.
Well, unfortunate. I guess this is how it is because Nico keeps doing what he's doing. So
I
I'm
don't
gonna
think
change
Dylan
the
understands
rules.
hypotheticals very well.
Tanner asked a good hypothetical. He gave me 2 options and he didn't add anything after I answered it.
Dylan, I have another cliff hypothetical.
Jesus
a fourth
Christ.
cliff for you.
Okay.
You're walking by a cliff and and you hear 2 voices cry out, "Help, help, I'm about to fall." You walk over and it's Adolf Hitler
Jesus.
and Mao Zedong. Which one do you save?
Hold on. I need to Google something. How do you spell
Mao
that?
Zedong is the communist ruler of China for a long time.
When was he the ruler of China?
I don't know, back in the 50s or some shit.
That's not a good time period. These are both terrible people.
Yes.
But I think Hitler's worse. I don't know what this other guy did, but obviously not bad enough for me to hear about him. So I guess I'll save the Chinese communist. I don't know what the
That's
other
crazy.
guy did.
Unfortunately for you, Dylan, Mao Zedong has killed far more people than Hitler.
Really? How many people has he
But
killed?
only Chinese people, so...
Yeah, that doesn't
doesn't
matter. There's
matter.
still people. How many people did he kill?
Hey now, let's not go crazy here, Dylan.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Dylan, you're walking next to a cliff. You hear several voices cry out for help. You see 3 Chinese people about to plummet to their deaths from the same branch, and then 1 Jew. Which one do you save? You can save the 3 Chinese people or the Jew.
Is the Jew also in a branch or whatever?
Sure. I don't know why that would matter, but yes.
This is a trolley question. It's like,
It's a trolley question, but really it's just seeing if you place more value on people's lives based on their ethnicity.
I guess I'll save the 3 Chinese people.
Wrong choice.
Oh man,
'Cause there's
Dylan
more of
is
them.
pro-Holocaust
No,
now.
there's more people. I'd save 3 people instead of 1.
Frankly, Dylan, with the last one, I think you should have let them both plummet to their deaths.
Why would I do that?
Well, because they're Adolf Hitler and Mao Zedong. They're both bad people. You should have just let them drop.
Oh, I just was going in with the mindset that I had to save one of them. Because that's just the kind of trope we were going around with this.
And by saving Mao Zedong, he says to you, "Oh, Darren, I have seen the errors of my way. I love capitalism."
He then goes on to kill millions more than he would have if he stuck to communism.
Yeah, he's able to construct a much more efficient military-industrial complex to fucking, what's the word I'm looking for? Oppress his people.
That's right.
Oh no.
I go eat dog now.
Oh, that's not fun. I don't like that.
Are we done with cliff hypotheticals?
I sure
think
hope
we could
so.
do this all day.
Dylan, what in your mind is a good hypothetical? What does it consist of?
Dylan, give us a cliff hypothetical. I feel like we've been throwing all these questions at you for the past 20 minutes.
Oh, man, a good cliff hypothetical. I don't even... Alright, I will pose this... no, I can't pose it to each of you. I don't know a general enough person. Jackson.
Uh-huh.
You're strolling by on the cliffs of Oregon, right? And you've got your you hear 4 people scream out, and there's 4 people hanging off a cliffside. 2 of them are your parents, and then the other 2 is Nico and Tanner. Who do you save?
Like I can only save one of these people, or
No, you
I
can
choose one of these
you
groups?
amass the strength of a man, and you are able to pull 2 people up at once. You could either save your mom and your dad, or you could save Nico and Tanner through the force of sheer will. You can pull 2 people up. Which 2 people do you save?
What about any combination in between, Dylan?
No. There is a difference of 50 feet between both groups. You know, you saw Nico and Tanner saw Jackson's parents like, oh my gosh, look, they're about to fall, and by not paying attention, they slipped on the sandbar and were dangling off the cliff, and that's how you guys ended up.
Horrible series of hiking trips gone wrong.
Jackson, your parents have lived their lives.
See, this is actually a hard one because I think for most people they just immediately save their parents. Like, I love you guys, but I think most people would just save their parents here. The problem is I don't really give a shit about my parents at all. Well, I think my mom's all right. My dad's kind of an asshole and he hasn't really redeemed himself that much. Like, frankly, I'd much rather have you guys in the world.
Whoa.
So I think I'd probably save you guys, to be honest.
There we go.
Thank God.
I think I'd probably save you guys too. My parents aren't up to much anymore.
I get that inheritance money right off the bat, man. We go fucking
Oh
spending
my
that.
god.
There we go.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Mom, Dad, please don't take what I'm saying seriously. This is all a dumb hypothetical on the internet.
They do watch every episode of Guapish, so it's fair.
They're our biggest fans, actually. Jackson's father is Top Ramen Man.
That's right.
Oh. That'd be funny.
Fuck, what was I? Oh, would you guys ever consider making one of us in this friend group here the godfather of your child?
No.
None of us?
No.
That's crazy.
I don't plan on having children, so I don't have to answer this question.
But if you did, Jackson, if you did have a child, Jackson, if you had to take in both of Markiplier's orphan children because Dylan chose to kill him,
Markiplier doesn't
then-
have any kids.
He has 2 children. So, Jackson, would you choose to just give them to one of us?
I wouldn't want these fucking kids in the first place. I'd probably just send them to an adoption center.
Jesus.
Okay.
That's cruel.
Do you think the adoption center would advertise them as being Markiplier's children? Like, increase their SEO?
Oh, they
I think
100%
they
probably.
might, yeah.
Let's say you pass away, you have a child, you are cognizant enough to write in your will who you want to take care of the child in your absence.
Yeah.
Do you go with your brother or one of us?
Probably my brother.
Really?
He's been in a much more
Interesting.
stable relationship than any of you guys have.
Damn, that's a fair enough
his
point.
like girlfriend's parents are rich, I believe. So
Nico,
like,
have you considered the fact that I'm not in a relationship?
I mean, yeah.
Therefore, I have the most stable relationship since I have none.
Jackson's never had one. So what does that say, Dylan?
Well, no, I thought he did have a relationship. I thought that was... Am I misremembering information again?
I don't know what
Yes.
you're even talking about, dude.
Anyway.
Well, like, Jackson's been in like a high school relationship one time for like a month or something, but he doesn't really even count that.
Oh, okay, well, never mind then. Anyway, what, Tanner?
Anyway. Dylan, same question to you. If you pass away and have to pass a child to someone, do you choose your brother or do you choose one of us?
I love my brothers. I wouldn't trust them with it. For reasons I'm not going to go into because I'm sure they wouldn't want me to explain.
Okay.
I guess if I'm left with just that option, I guess I'd leave it with one of you guys.
Okay, which of us would you choose, Dylan?
Well, Jackson doesn't want kids and doesn't like kids, and, given the fact that he'd say he'd immediately give kids to an adoption center, Jackson's out of the running 100%. Tanner's a big, strong guy, so I feel like if my kids were threatened, he'd be able to, like, murder people or something if that were the case.
Yeah, exactly. If anyone even looks at your child wrong, I will immediately kill them on the spot.
And Tanner's also, like, the epitome of, like, patriotism or whatever.
I think you meant to say patriarchy, but go on.
Well, no, I said what I said. And I don't agree with some of the things that Nico says or does, so he's...
Like what?
Nico, you know for a fact that me and you don't agree on a lot of things.
Like what?
There's plenty of things you don't agree with me on, though,
Yeah.
Dylan.
What specifically would this have to do with children?
I don't know. I don't know how you would raise kids. None of us know how each of us would raise kids. This is a hard question to answer. I'm going to leave
Nico.
my kids with Tanner.
He doesn't want you to raise them to be artists.
Look, Dylan, I feel like there's a very important thing that you're missing out on here. Tanner has major anger issues, and he would absolutely snap one of your children's heads in half if he had the
I
chance.
do not have anger issues.
I don't think that's true at all.
Do you really want them to be around a man who's just like constantly having women come in and come out constantly, dude, 24/7?
24/7.
A man whose home would practically be a brothel?
Okay. I would definitely leave my children with my brother because he's a pastor, so
There we go. Easy.
not much of a competition there.
What kind of pastor?
A youth pastor, I believe.
Not great track records with them, but
A Protestant one, okay? Protestant!
okay, there we go.
Oh my gosh. Insane.
This is what I was thinking of today. What is the purest genre of gaming? I came up with this because I've started playing Celeste again. Celeste's a very popular platformer, and I was playing it and I was thinking, I think platformers may be the purest genre of gaming. And I was wondering what your guys' thoughts on this sort of idea are.
What are we using to judge what makes it the purest genre?
Yeah.
I think it's whatever you think the qualification should be.
Well,
Like, what do you think of when you think of the purest genre of gaming?
I think it boils down to, like, major categories, because you got FPS, which is a pretty major one. You've got RPG. I don't know if... Does MMO
That's
and
not
RPG...
the question, though, Dylan. The question is, which one is the purest?
I think, for me at least, it's 2D side-scrollers. I think, like, when you initially posed that question, the first thing that came to my mind was Cave Story. I love that game, and I think it really defines what, like, it means to be, like, a video game.
Okay.
Yeah, I can agree with 2D side-scrollers, because that also kind of encompasses platformers as well, in some cases.
In many cases,
Yeah. And, like, I think, not in the purest sense, but 2D side-scrollers have kind of persisted through gaming history, and they still kind of just make them. So obviously there's something there that just works, you know? It's something that kind of draws everybody in. So I think 2D side-scrollers is probably a good answer.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with sports games. Locking in sports games for 500 here. Sports games are the purest form of gaming. You got Pong, the progenitor of all video games ever created. You know, it's a sport.
What about
it's
that
ping
one that
pong.
came before Pong?
Ignore that. Ignore the other ones that came before Pong. Pong is the one I'm going with here, Tanner. Pong is a sport game. Therefore, the purest form of video games are sports.
Interesting.
You got your Madden 2023. That is far purer than your Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You can't turn into an elephant in Madden now, can you, Tanner?
No, you can't turn it into an elephant in Madden yet.
That sort of witchcraft, not pure. Not pure according to the Bible, okay?
Oh, man.
Yeah, I do think it says somewhere in Psalms, thou shalt not turn into an elephant.
Yeah, shooting people, like in a Call of Duty shoot-a-man, can't do that in Madden. You can't just go and kill people.
No guns in Madden.
No, sir.
The only shooting you can do is a shoot straight up the middle of the field to a guy that catches it.
Yes, sir.
I also think some incredibly pure forms of gaming, in my mind, are beat-em-ups and fighting games. Those also
violent.
strike me as very pure.
Those are violent,
They are violent.
not pure.
I mean...
Gamers are violent, though. Do you remember Columbine?
Let's not go there.
Dylan, what video game were the Columbine shooters super into?
I don't know. I don't relate school shootings with video games, so that's not a good question to
Well,
ask
they
me.
did,
Well,
Dylan.
that's unfortunate. I think the media is stupid and wrong.
It was Doom. It was Doom. They played a lot of Doom.
They did play a lot of Doom. They made their own Doom maps, even.
Yeah, they made their own Doom maps that resembled the school so that they could practice.
Has anyone published the Columbine Shooters Diaries? Is that something I can just go out and read?
Yeah.
I was about to say, I'm
Interesting.
sure you probably could if you looked hard
I'm
enough.
gonna add that to my reading list then. Those guys seem interesting. I just hear so much fucked up shit about them. It feels like if I read that, I might actually get sort of a glimpse behind the something or other.
Yeah.
Dylan, which of the Columbine shooters was your favorite of the two?
I don't know. I don't know who they are. I don't know who they are. I just know what happened. I just thought there was
Dylan,
one.
if you have to guess what their names are,
Alex and John.
Alex the Lion.
I'm pretty sure their names are Dylan and Kevin.
Well, that's unfortunate.
That sounds about right. I believe it's spelled the same as yours as well, Dylan.
That can't possibly
I
be
don't
true.
think that's true, but
I have literally never seen... The closest I've seen anybody get to my name is missing one L.
okay.
So...
Dylan, what state was Columbine in?
Ohio?
I am downright baffled that you knew that. That's impressive. I'll
Wasn't it
give you
Colorado?
kudos for that one.
Let's go.
No, that was the Aurora shooting where the guy with dyed red hair shot someone in a Batman showing.
April 20th, 1999 at Columbine High School in Columbine,
Was that
Colorado.
long ago? I thought Columbine was
Damn.
more recent. What's the one
I
I'm
thought
thinking?
I also, you know what?
Oh.
I'm gonna have to take back my kudos, Dylan. But to be fair, I thought it was Ohio as well.
I was monologuing. Where was it?
Colorado.
Oh.
Yeah.
You probably picked up on that information through Tanner, if anything.
Maybe,
Tanner led you astray.
I don't think we've talked about Columbine before, but sure.
We talk about it every pre-guap. For those of you who want to learn about a little bit more about Columbine, please subscribe to our Patreon, where you can watch our pre-guap. For every single pre-guap, we talk about the Columbine shooting.
I am right now adding Bowling for Columbine to my my movie list.
Jesus. I think I was thinking of Sandy Hook. That's probably what I was thinking.
Sandy Hook was in Connecticut, so I don't think you were thinking of that.
No, I'm not talking about state. I'm thinking about like the one that, like, the big major one that I remember first happening.
Well, Columbine happened many, many years before Sandy Hook.
I'm
so-
aware of that, but I thought Columbine was also just in the string of those not like that long ago. Unfortunately.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Speaking of purest forms of video games, though, guys,
Yeah.
I have another question here for you. What would you say is the pettiest reason that you've ever dropped a game for?
I actually talked about this the other day. I would drop a lot of games because I couldn't handle horror games at all. I believe I was playing Resident Evil 4 for the Wii. Walked into this house and I heard really heavy zombie breathing. It was around a corner. And I couldn't force myself to go around that corner, so I turned the game off and never played it again.
Kind of similarly, actually. Back when I was playing through Ocarina of Time for the first time, I was a wee little lad, and I got to the forest temple, and that place spooked me, okay? Yeah, it had such a creepy vibe to it. I just couldn't bring myself to play through it anymore. And then eventually, I got back into it. I was able to push through the forest temple. I was a big kid now. It didn't bother me whatsoever. But then I got to the shadow temple, and that place was full of zombies and other scary shit, and I dropped it again, and I've never beaten Ocarina of Time since. However, the actual pettiest reason for me is one that was more recent. It was several years back, but, more recent than me being a wee little child. Yeah. So I started playing through the Deus Ex games, okay? I kicked off with Mankind. I heard that was a really good one. So I started playing it, got through like a couple missions. Then I looked down, and I noticed something very dire, guys. I couldn't see my legs. And it bothered me so much.
No way.
I dropped the game afterward.
Bro, what? No. Why? Do you do that in other games?
No.
Oh, why'd you do it in that game?
It bothered me a lot.
Oh.
It just completely breaks the immersion, when you can't look down and see your feet.
Oh, okay.
It's something I feel should really be standard in most games, to be perfectly honest, if they're going to be first person.
True.
I think the pettiest reason I've ever dropped a game is I stopped playing Scribblenauts because it wouldn't let me type slurs.
That's so stupid. Why would you think that they would program a game to allow... What would that even create, Tanner?
I imagine it would create an individual that looks like whatever that slur applied to.
Use their actual country's designation, like Chinese or Indian. Don't... African. What's wrong with you?
Do you remember any specific slurs you went for, Tanner?
This is all a joke. I never attempted this. Probably, I mean, I've stopped playing games because I fucking suck at them.
Yeah. Okay.
We stopped playing Octopath Traveler because it just pissed us off with all those recording issues.
True.
I still have it, on my Switch. I probably would like to get back to it because I think that is a game that's right up my alley, but alas.
I also have it downloaded on my Xbox.
Oh.
Because I want to get around to playing it at some point.
I heard Octopath Traveler 2 is really good, and also this one's very good, so, fuck.
Good, something to look forward to.
Jackson, when have you dropped a game, dude?
See, I really don't have an example of this. Nico's probably going to be like, but Nier Automata, or Nier Automata, however the fuck you pronounce it. I didn't drop that one. I eventually still wanted to, get back to playing it, and there's, plenty of games like that. I don't ever really think I've had an example of a game that I've, dropped for some stupid reason that never wanted to pick up again.
Gotcha.
I definitely have tons of games where I stopped playing them, but I always want to, try to get back to them eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, why did you stop playing Nier Automata again?
Because I didn't like waiting 30 fucking minutes through some bullshit gameplay because I died to the first boss.
That's a fair
and
point.
it'd be wasting my fucking time.
I feel like that's me with Dark Souls.
Did you consider not dying to the first boss?
Wow.
Alas.
One more recent one I thought of. I'm gonna ask you, Nico, because you were there for this when this happened. Friday the 13th. Do you think quitting that game was petty or justified?
No, that game fucking sucks.
Okay, so that's not a petty reason. Yeah, that game fucking sucked ass, and we had that one friend who constantly was like, "Oh, let's play the game. It's actually really good," but it's because he played as the killer.
Yeah, exactly. That game is 100% balanced around the killer, just going around slaughtering everybody.
Yeah.
It's not a super fun game if you don't get to play as big old Jason. Yeah, it was pretty silly. That dude was constantly saying, "Don't worry, guys. I know that the game is bad, but there's a reason for it. You see, there are all these copyright issues going on. That's why the game's bad. Why does that matter though? Why should we play it then?"
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, it'll pull through." And it's because he invested so much time in it. And he unlocked every single Jason skin in the game. He unlocked everything for the game. That's why I wanted it. But anyway,
have you guys ever gone that hard for a bad game?
I only play good games, Tanner, so, I can't really say so.
I plead the fifth.
I went that hard for Evolve. I was a big Evolve
Bro,
guy.
I
loved
miss Evolve so much. Apparently, if you owned Evolve on Steam, they brought it back only for those people, which really sucks, because that means only people who owned it on Steam have it.
They temporarily brought it back as a free-to-play model called Evolve Stage 2.
Yeah, that.
That was pretty fun. It was much better balanced. Like, for example, in the original Evolve, only the Trapper could drop the dome, which meant that if you had a dog-ass Trapper, you just lost every single fucking game.
True.
They changed it so that the Tracker, instead of dropping the dome, he could just get, like, a compass point to where the monster is every, couple minutes or whatever. Oh. And then any character, once they're within range, can just automatically drop the dome.
Yeah, I did see that. That looked like an interesting change. Luckily, I wasn't an ass Trapper, and I was actually pretty good at the game. The only thing that annoyed me about the game was, like, the jetpack fuel economy. I didn't like how your mobility was super limited because your jetpack had, like, 3 seconds of boost or something.
Get good, scrub.
Whatever, man.
But yeah, that's an example of what I think is widely regarded as a bad game that I was a big fan of and really, really fucking enjoyed.
Yeah, it was a good game. I don't know if Nico feels the same, but...
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it.
Sweet. Glad we can all agree. Even Jackson.
Yeah, I don't think I ever played that game before.
Unfortunate.
I think you played it one of our bro nights at some point, but
That sounds familiar, yeah.
Yeah, I doubt you really played it much outside of that.
Yeah, I don't remember anything about it.
Nico, of course, played the most broken behemoth in the game.
Look, dude, I wanted to play as the Wraith, but someone else picked him, so I didn't want to play as the same
See, that
fucking
was the
monster
dumb
as
thing,
someone
though.
else.
It's like we didn't have to claim monsters. I just chose the whatever rock guy because I thought he was cool. To be honest, he's probably one of the most broken ones in the game.
He was pretty busted.
Was he?
I don't know.
He was insanely hard to kill. He just had, like, infinite shield.
Yeah, I did wipe the floor consistently with them when I was playing Behemoth. So, fun game.
All right, now here's another question for you boys. Another gaming-related question. What do you think was, like, your proudest gaming moment?
Oh, man. That's a good one. I have to think, because... It's unfortunate because at least 50% of my gaming moments are taken up by Destiny, which I know you guys care nothing about. So I'm trying to find other games in which I've done something significant.
I guess for me it would be like doing a perfect route on Star Fox.
Okay.
That's probably like the most impressive gaming feat I've made, at least.
Yeah, I'd say for me, it would definitely be... I'm going to take you boys back here. It's story time. I'm taking you back to one of our bro nights that we had back in probably, this is definitely like college days, I'd say. So, picture it. We're all chilling there. Me, you, Tanner, Jackson, Lucas, a couple of our other friends were there too as well. And we decided, hey, we're going to do a little 2v2 in Smite here, okay? So it was Jackson and I versus Tanner and Lucas, all right?
Oh, no.
We arranged it this way because I was the much more experienced individual of Smite. Lucas played a decent bit, Tanner played a little here and there, and then Jackson had basically no experience whatsoever. So it made the most sense, okay? It made the most sense. And so as we were playing this match, Tanner and Lucas were talking mad shit the entire time, okay? Oh. They were fucking just shit-talking us the whole time, saying things like, man, Jackson, maybe we shouldn't have had you group up with Nico. Like, he's just too defensive. You guys aren't going to be able to do anything together. And then a turning point happened, guys.
Turning Point USA?
That's right, Tanner. Turning Point USA. Eventually, I got my build going, okay? I really started to get all the items I really need to set off here. And pretty soon, we just started absolutely fucking destroying the two of you, Tanner. Suddenly, things got real silent after that. As you guys, there just wasn't any more trash to spit up, you know? It was all out there in the open at this point. And Jax and I, we just fucking made you guys surrender at some point because it was too brutal of a beating for you guys to take.
May I ask which god you were using, if you remember?
Hades.
Oh, of course. You guys were screwed from the beginning.
Jackson was Amaterasu.
I have absolutely no recollection of this event.
Amaterasu.
It never happened. Nico's making it
cat
up.
Lady.
Yeah.
I'd taken a little... Well, I guess, Jackson, did you have one before?
I can't fucking think of anything.
What's the most difficult OS map you've completed?
That's probably a good one.
Oh, God. See, I can't even really be proud of those anymore because the hardest maps I've ever really done are ones I beat many years ago. Like 5 or 6 years ago. And I just don't even fucking know what they are at this point, so they don't really mean anything.
Oh.
Yeah, honestly, I don't really have any, like, proud gaming achievements, I don't think.
Sedge.
My proudest gaming achievement is 100%ing Assassin's Creed Odyssey on Google Stadia.
Oh, Google Stadia. I've never heard anybody play on that platform before.
I was a beta tester for it, and they let us play through Assassin's Creed Odyssey for 2 weeks. And so I just sat down for like 12 hours a day and beat the whole goddamn thing.
Yeah, how was that? How did it play?
It worked pretty well.
All right, that's
Dude,
good.
you beat like Anubis and everything?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Tanner, have you considered that's a bad game, though? Have you thought about that?
I thought it was pretty fun, and I think most people enjoyed it.
Yeah, maybe some fucking normies who don't know a good game if it bit them on the back of the head, you know?
Ooh.
Maybe something like, let's say Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, okay? I feel like those games are significantly better than a stinky old Assassin's Creed. Ignore the jank, ignore the bugs. You got fucking Pokemon in it, Tanner. You ain't got none of those in Assassin's Creed.
There are not Pokemon in Assassin's Creed. There are legendary creatures of manner.
But is there a Pikachu?
There's no Pikachu.
Can you find him in there?
I don't believe that there is a Pikachu in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, no.
Unfortunate. Anyway, I was hoping you guys would mention a game, it would spark something in me, but unfortunately, I think... short one. Yeah, I would have to say one of my first ones was probably finally beating Nico in Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Whoa.
Because, like, consistently losing is not a great feeling, and then you finally just get this one moment, and I remember in the moment I was just button mashing, my heart was racing, because I was like, we're down to our last characters, and I was like, I'm always that guy that's like, it's not truly possible, but there's a hope there. And then I don't know what happened, but, like, Nico did some, like, things, and I button mashed and did some supers, and I killed one of his characters, and then, you know, it was just all over. I still have the clip saved. That's how great of a moment it was for me. It was the one time I bested Nico in a fighting game that wasn't Smash Bros.
How often have you bested me in Smash Bros?
Not super often, but more often than I did in Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, boys,
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
Yeah.
if we ain't got nothing else that must be discussed at the moment, you know, any dire things that we need to get off of our chests here, then I think it might just be time for Guapish at the movies.
The
Guapish at the
itsy-bitsy
movies.
Spider crawled up
That was
the
terrible.
water.
I was gonna do a RoboCop theme, goddammit.
Well, I thought we agreed we were going to do the Itsy Bitsy Spider one. Where did the John Cena come from?
RoboCop.
I don't
Dylan, do you not
think-
realize that John Cena played RoboCop?
Anyway. Is RoboCop the first movie we're talking about this week?
Of course it is, Dylan, because RoboCop was recommended by our Patreon member, Mr. Petit.
Whoa.
That's not his name. I don't remember what his name is. It's something long and stupid. Hang on, I'll pull it up. Don't worry, it's cool. It was recommended by Patreon member, Macho Man Retard Savage.
Whoa.
Whoa! Thank you very much. If you would also like to recommend a movie, please subscribe to our Patreon. It's only $1 a month. It's pretty sweet. As for the movie, though, Tanner, would you like to walk us through the plot of this one?
Sure, I can walk us through the plot. So, we have our police officer Murphy in the city of Detroit in an undetermined point in the future. He gets transferred to Detroit, and Detroit fucking sucks, just like it does in the present. He's out on patrol, and he gets called to catch this bad group of bank robbers, and then they fucking kill him. They just, goddamn, they blast him away. Holy fuck. And then he gets built into RoboCop. And he then goes around and he kind of remembers being alive, and then he tracks down these gang members, and then he stops them and he kills some of them, and then there's a big fight at the end where he kills them all, and then he shoots a guy out of a building. The end.
Yeah.
Now, Dylan, how did you feel about RoboCop?
I feel like, given the circumstances, I figured there'd be more person than robot, or at least maybe armor plating.
A little more cop than Robo is what you're saying.
Yeah, basically, because, like, he had his, like, right arm blown off. I was like, alright, obviously, that's gonna be, like, a robotic arm. And I know the aesthetic of, like, RoboCop, so I don't know why it surprised me when I finally saw it. But then I saw the finished product, I was like, there's a lot more of this guy that is robot than cop. Like, obviously, he's got his face, but even that just looks like a human face plastered on a robot.
Did that freak you out, Dylan? Did it freak you?
No, surprisingly not. It doesn't...
Interesting.
That is very surprising. We were fully expecting you to be like, oh, I didn't like that part of the movie very much.
It's a different
gave me the
effect in movies. Like, to me, it's just a guy in a robot suit is basically what it is. But aside...
But if it were a robot who was wearing a man's face as, like, you know, his face, then,
that'd be terrible. I'd hate that so much. But it's also the fact that I knew this was a person and not a robot, so there's also that. Anyway, But yeah, I thought this movie was pretty good. I thought the practical effects were very well done. The only practical effect that I had an issue with was and I hope you guys will catch this when I say it, the robot chicken-esque ED-209 robot, if you know what I'm trying to get at, where...
Yeah, Big Robo Boy, he's stop motion.
Yeah, they definitely did the best with what they had, but...
I don't think they did do the best with what they had.
I don't know what else... I mean, yeah, I don't know. It looked super weird. It looked really out of place. But
it was bad. I didn't really like that very much. Or really just like... Its inclusion in the film is kind of weird in general, because it doesn't really feel like it ever really does much against RoboCop.
Yeah.
Which, like, you know, I know that there are plenty of people out there, maybe in this room right now, who will say it's a satirical movie. And you gotta keep that in mind with this kind of stuff, okay? This movie's meant to be satirical. Any complaints you have will be immediately negated by my satirical jinjitsu, okay?
I think the whole point of the big fucking mech thing is to just show how stupid and inefficient their whole, like, basic design for what they're doing is. It's not actually supposed to be some thing that's in use. And, like, I think the whole point of, like, RoboCop in and of itself is just to prove that it's fucking stupid and pointless.
I guess so.
I don't really think they have to interact.
Yeah, to be honest, when they were introducing that big mech, I expected some kind of prototype of RoboCop to walk through the door, and then I saw that, and I was like, ugh, that doesn't look too... Because, like, it was even coming, like, through the doorway and everything. And then, like, after it, like, killed the guy, they obviously had, like, a statue of it, and they just had smoke come out of the guns. I was like, okay, that looks fine. But then I also was like, so why have that? But then when you have it moving, it looks like it's in some kind of kid's claymation or whatever, stop motion, stupid. But, yeah, I thought the pacing of the movie was fairly well done. It hit a snag somewhere in the middle when he was starting to rediscover his life, I guess, if that's something you want to say. Because then, I don't know if it disrupts the pace, but I was like, definitely like, it's an interesting inclusion because it's making the viewer be like, oh, hey, this is his life. What happened? Oh, his family's gone. Like, what's going to happen now?
I was kind of expecting them to do a lot more with that than they actually ended up doing.
Yeah,
when they initially introduced, like, the Directive 4, what could it be? Whoa, look at this mysterious Directive 4. There were a few thoughts flowing through my mind of what that could possibly be, where it's like, Directive 4, get revenge, murder those who killed me, or, like, find my family, something like that. But eventually they reveal what Directive 4 is, and I definitely like the way they went with that. It was pretty neat, especially the way it plays with, like, the final confrontation with the whole boardroom, where he yells, "You're fired!" and then he gets fucking blasted. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
The proceeding, like, you know, falling through out of the skyscraper, maybe not so good, but, like, you know.
It looked a bit dated.
Maybe just a little bit. Also, like, these people just, like, keep watching folks get blasted in their medians.
Yeah.
And they're generally, like, pretty calm about it. Like, you know, in the first one, they freak out a bit, but they're not, like, evacuating.
Yeah.
They're like, whoa, what's going on here? Hang on.
Jesus. That's life in the big city.
I guess
so.
Detroit especially, you know. I'm sure that they walk past similar scenes on their way to work every day.
That's what I'm thinking. It's just normal to Detroit people, you know.
Jackson, what did you think about this movie?
I thought it was alright overall. There were some goofy things, like the weird visuals going on. I think the general story arc was fine. I don't know if I'm, like, super sold on the tone of the movie.
That's the biggest thing for me, I'd say. The tone is really weird in this film.
Yeah, because obviously it's going for, like, kind of like a satirical thing. It's making fun of, you know, I don't even really know.
Society!
I assume it's trying to just, like, poke fun at, like, the military, maybe, like, how we, like, police things.
It's kind of
specifically.
The military, the media.
Yeah.
It's poking fun at America in general, really.
Yeah, at the time.
Like, I think the most, like, the least subtle, I guess, thing is that, the fucking car, where it's some super expensive car, it gets shitty gas mileage, which they literally say, and it's called the 6000 SUX.
Yeah.
That's probably the most blatant, like, oh, we're making fun of, like, American consumerism and corporatism and all this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say, like, the world building that they do with the fucking, like, advertisements and stuff like that, I think is significantly better here than it was in, like, Starship Troopers when they attempted a very similar thing there. Just because, like, I don't, it feels much more cohesive here, I'd say, and like it actually is adding substance to the film, rather than like when it's not the fucking political shit in Starship Troopers and it's just like this random other stuff. It's like, why should we care about this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a very important question. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jackson.
I'll just say going back to like the tonal issue specifically. I don't know if I really see it as that much of a detractor. I definitely feel like the movie would have been stronger if they just like leaned more into like the satirical side of it. Like I kind of like what they were trying to do with him, you know, like remembering his past and all that stuff, but I don't honestly really didn't care that much, especially because it really doesn't amount to anything.
Yeah.
And so I feel like honestly just like scrapping that whole thing and kind of just like digging into more like RoboCop shenanigans, or maybe having like a more grandiose at final scene. You know, I think the final like fight scene was pretty grandiose in and of itself. But yeah, I don't know. I think the tonal issues are probably like the biggest detractor for me. Everything else was pretty solid for the most part.
Now, I do have a very important question for you boys, assuming we're not about to go to the ratings.
Who would win, Terminator or RoboCop?
I'm pretty sure that Screw Attack did a death battle for this. I'm pretty sure Terminator won.
Ignore them.
I'm pretty sure Terminator would win.
Yeah, I think they're probably right about saying Terminator would win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen Terminator, so I'm going to say RoboCop.
Dude, I also think RoboCop would win. I think RoboCop's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He has a jetpack in the third movie.
Oh, I didn't realize
He
there was more
does.
than one.
There's 4 RoboCop movies.
Now, I got a question. Would you boys buy that for $1?
I'd buy that for $1.
It's $1. That's like nothing.
Nico, would you buy that for $1?
No.
Oh, man.
I don't even know what that is. I'm not gonna just shit.
$1.
I'm not gonna fucking give some random guy $1 for nothing.
What did you guys think of that slogan just popping up randomly throughout the movie? Outside
It was
of, like,
hilarious,
the commercials.
Dylan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's funny because like they implicate, obviously they're making fun of like, I guess how dumb your average American is when it comes to the kind of entertainment they like. But yeah, I thought it was great how it's just like this really shitty, not funny at all show, and then we're just seeing random people like the store owner and the criminals just be like, buy that for $1. You know, fucking dying of laughter.
Yeah, I think it's really
this shit.
elevated because like fucking he's saying like this quippy line, but it's not like really in response to anything. Like we just get the
And no
punchline. We don't get any of the setup.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty good. I love that shit.
Okay.
I guess I'll give my thoughts real quick. I'm definitely the big RoboCop fan here.
This is your favorite movie, Tanner.
This isn't my favorite movie. It's definitely up there though. I do love this movie. I agree. ED 209 looks dated, and I imagine that they went the method of comping in a stop motion creature instead of like trying to build a robot for, I'd assume, cost reasons, which is lame, but I believe this film was made on a relatively low budget as well, so they were working with what they had.
Dude, the RoboCop costume cost them $1 million to make.
That's crazy, and it looks fucking great.
It does. It looks really good.
One other detraction, there are definitely moments in the action scenes that look pretty silly because RoboCop is so immobile. Like, I think of when he's getting attacked by the ED-209, most of that looks fucking stupid. Like when he dodges out of the way of a missile and he just kind of goes, and he like very slowly moves. Or there's like one scene where he's like stumbling, I guess, from a missile, and he's down here and he's like, oh, and it looks fucking weird. That was goofy.
For the most part, I do really appreciate the fucking actor for RoboCop, though, and the way he's able to like do these robot movements generally without it looking really dumb as he's like moving around and shit.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
And I think that's where this movie really shines, which I think pretty much all of the characters are pretty great. Yeah. I think RoboCop is awesome. I think he's very well acted. I think he looks cool as fuck. I think we have a good group of villains, especially our main guy, Clarence Boddicker. I think he does a really good job being like a crime boss sort of guy, and he's really fucking despicable. They make you hate him pretty immediately when he kills Murphy.
Yeah.
I like the Chief. I like Dick Jones. I like Bob Norton. I think these guys all do a great job, and you really get what their character is, and they're pretty entertaining, in my opinion. And I think the story is pretty solid. And then, yeah, I think a lot of the effects that are practical, so the RoboCop suit and a lot of the blood and guts and gore, I think that all looks really good.
Yeah, that was real blood from that guy getting blasted in the meeting.
Yeah, that was... Yeah. There are versions of this movie where they try and make it PG-13, and so they just take out the blood from that. I accidentally watched one of those versions once after having seen the real one, and I'm like, what is this fucking bullshit? This is terrible. I don't want this. Give me the guts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like this movie, and I'm ready to rank it if you guys are.
I will say one last thing right before we go to the rankings. What did you guys...
I wouldn't buy that for $1.
Dang. In terms of practical effects, and I guess this would be counted as gore, what did you guys think of, like, the part where the guy drives into the big old canister of toxic waste and then stumbles out as a melted blob of human mess?
I liked it when they ran him over and he exploded like a water balloon.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. That blew my mind. I was not expecting that.
That moment is weird and feels kind of out of place, but the costume is good enough, and him exploding is an awesome enough scene that I'm fine with it. Yeah. Even if I'm like, he melted. What? Yeah. Why is this? But anyway, it was cool.
I'm shocked I didn't activate his windshield wipers.
He kind of drove off a cliff immediately after that, so...
Yeah.
True.
Anyway.
So Tanner, if you're so high on this film, then what are you going to be ranking it there, bucko?
Earlier, just a couple days ago, I said, don't worry, guys, I don't think I'm going to give it an S, and I'm immediately reneging on my word. I am giving it an S-.
There we go.
There you go. Dylan, how about you? What are you ranking it?
Oh my gosh, guys, I think I agree with Tanner. I'm going to give this movie an S. I'm just kidding. I thought this movie was still very good, though. I give it an A+.
Okay.
That's absurd. Jackson, how about you, dude?
I give it a B+.
B+? Huh. That's much lower than I was expecting, honestly. I'm giving it an A-, though.
There we go.
Okay. Where does that land us?
Probably an A.
That puts us at B. Oh, I'm looking at my rankings still. Whoops. That puts us at A. Dylan got it.
Gotcha, okay. Solid A.
I know.
I'm honestly surprised by that. I definitely thought that I was the lowest on this film, but... And yeah, I was feeling a little bad about giving an A-, but...
Oh.
Now you don't have to feel bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now I feel great. Now I know that my vote was correct.
All right, which one's next?
We're looking at Dylan's pick, this next one.
Eight-Legged Freaks, Jackson?
Yeah.
Okay, so Eight-Legged Freaks is a story about some spiders, in case anybody was confused what had 8 legs and were in fact freaks. So we start in the movie with this, like, scientist guy. He's in a cabin, his, like, research cabin or whatever. He's got this child with him, and he's researching spiders. And
Is he?
Yeah,
I think he's just a spider enthusiast. I don't think he's researching them.
He was feeding them some shit to make them
Yeah,
bigger.
so I guess what I should start with beforehand is, in fact, that there was a guy driving a truck and a barrel flies off into, like, this pond area, and it just infects the pond, and we're like, oh, that's probably gonna be something. Again, the scientist guy's like, yeah, I've just been feeding them these crickets, and they're growing to a humongous size. And then they accidentally leave one of the cages up. It's a tarantula cage. The tarantula gets out. The child
This
leaves.
is way too in-depth.
It absolutely
for
is.
this movie.
This sets up for how the tarantula bites the guy, and he goes crazy. He starts knocking over all the cages, and the spiders escape. And so later on, we're like, oh my gosh, these spiders are growing huge. And so then eventually people start dying. Pets start disappearing. People start dying. And they're like, we gotta get to the mall. That's the safe place. We can hold up there. And people just keep dying. They eventually escape to the caves. And they find, like, the nest. They find all these people cocooned up. And then they're like, these caves are full of methane. We can ignite them and kill all the spiders at once. So they do that. They put some matches in, like, a little light bulb thing. They turn on the power. The guy saves, like, his grandma or whatever. We don't actually know who this lady is in relation to this guy. Saves her. They ride out on this dirt bike. The whole thing explodes, and it's all over. The end.
Alright, so, like, the plot of this movie is pretty goofy.
Yeah.
And the whole point of it is, like, to have these, like, wacky antics around the fact that these, like, big old spiders are invading things. But the spiders look so bad, so tremendously bad, that it's impossible to take anything seriously.
Yeah.
I was going to say, and the movie falls very, very flat because of that.
I was going to say, in terms of flat, I think one of the, like, the genres that make absolutely zero sense to me at this point in time is when you combine horror and comedy. So far, I think the only movie that I've watched that successfully pulls that off is Scary Movie. Anything else outside
Those
of that...
aren't really even horror at all.
Yeah, exactly. That's the issue here, Nico. It's just like you don't want to laugh and be scared at the same time. It's like choose an avenue. I think this movie could have very easily been a decent horror movie if they just decided to not put the funny antics in it, because you're either laughing and then you get scared and it kills the comedy, or you're scared and then something funny happens and it kills the horror. And I just don't understand that formula whatsoever.
I mean, there was basically no comedy even really in this movie, though, is the thing.
Yeah, it was almost implied comedy. Like, there was a part where they were in the mall, and the spiders were, like, breaking in, and, like, the cop people are ready, and they turn around and look at the people, they're like, well, get ready, and then everybody's like, oh, yeah, I guess we should ruin it. And I'm like...
Yeah, there are a few moments like that where it's like, okay, yeah, I guess they're trying to tell a joke here.
Yeah, so...
But like, for the most part, first of all, they're unsuccessful basically every time they do that. And second of all, if they're trying to do it like any more than those super obvious moments, you just don't notice it.
Yeah, they truly did not. It just kill. Like I said, I think horror comedy combination just kills the movie in general. I don't think it's a great combination ever. I think this is the second one because I think Mars Attacks was also a horror comedy.
We also watched Cabin in the Woods, which I think was pretty successful with it.
Yeah, that one was a good one, but like. It was more, I think the effects pulled it through, to be honest. Anyway.
Sure. I think the only scene in this movie where I'm like, oh, this is reasonably entertaining was when the dirt bike kids were running away from the jumping spiders.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was serviceable, I guess.
That was decently entertaining for me. And that's about the only scene where I was like, oh, that was kind of fun.
Yeah, from what you can remember from that movie, I'm sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, like... I've heard that this movie is like really, really fucking bad, but like for me, it just didn't even like really leave much of an impact at all. Like when you look at something like Waxwork, like that movie's bad, but it's entertaining at the very least. This movie's just kind of fucking dull. I just don't really feel much for it whatsoever.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. It had big spiders going for it, and that's probably about it. I think I ended up telling you guys like halfway through the movie. Now that the spiders were practically comically large, I think because like I don't like.
Yeah,
spiders.
you were getting a little spooked early on, Dylan.
Yeah, then once they grew to large proportions, the effect kind of wore off. I don't know how that works, but you know, the spiders looked goofy. I don't know. I agree with Jackson.
Would you say this film successfully cured your arachnophobia though?
Not at all.
Bummer.
I think it was proven at the start of this when you were doing the thing you chose to do for some god-awful reason.
Don't just say that, Dylan. Tell the people exactly what I did. I showed him a little spider.
It wasn't a little spider. That was a big spider.
It was a big spider because the picture, it was a super close-up picture.
It was big in my mind.
He really thought the spider was as big as my head.
Anyway, do we have anything else significant to say about this movie? I'll take that as a no.
Jackson, what are you rating this movie?
Yeah.
Me first. I'm starting off with a bang. D-.
Yeah, I expected that. Fair.
I'm not going quite that low, but I am going pretty low. I'm giving it a D. D for dirt bike.
There we go. Not for some kind of scientific name for a spider.
Yeah, I'm also giving it a D-. This one wasn't very good.
I'm roughly in the same ballpark. I gave it a C-.
That's a bit higher of a ballpark.
And I know, but at a D overall.
Okay.
There we go. I think that's my new lowest.
Yeah, no, I initially wasn't even gonna rate this movie that low, but just thinking about it more, it's like this movie doesn't fucking do anything.
It really doesn't.
Of interest to me whatsoever.
It kind of had the same. It tried to follow the same plot as like Evolution, I think, but I think Evolution did a much better job.
Evolution is incomparably better than this movie in almost every way.
Yeah.
And that movie still sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's Eight-Legged Freaks. What's our last movie, Jackson?
That was my pick of the week. That is the horror fantasy movie Coraline.
Ooh.
Coraline?
Yeah, so this is a movie that takes place in Oregon, which is cool because we all live in Oregon. Don't dox us, you people in the comments. You know where we live, but don't type it out. Anyways, we have a family. It's a daughter, mother and a father, and they all move out to some like shared house in the Portland countryside. People live above them and below them. Coraline finds like a wall, like a door in the wall, put some wallpaper over it. Mom helps her out to get in there. When she goes inside of the wall, it's like I kept saying it was like a reverse, like a mirror world. It's not. It's like a fucking fake world that's created by some demon that lives in there.
Otherworld.
The other world,
Pocket dimension.
The other world's a pretty apt way of phrasing it, because that's basically how they say it in the movie. Yeah, but she finds her other mother, or basically like her whole other like family. There's like the neighbor kid in there as well, and they just like treat her super well. They like show her like a really good time. So she keeps wanting to come back in there. Eventually, the mom kind of, I guess, lowers the mask on like what's going on here, basically by prompting her to fucking sew some buns on her eyes. She's like disgusted by this, and then is trying to like just never go back in there again. Unfortunately, her parents get kidnapped by the demon, which forces her to go back in there and attempt to save them, as well as like some weird subplot about the fucking kid's eyes and shit, which is weird. But she ends up saving her parents from the snow globe. The mom turns into like a full-on like fucking big spider demon thing that tries to keep her there, and they escape. And then there's like a final little battle thing where they try to throw the key to the wall into the well that's outside, and the hand of the mom tries to like fight for it, and they do that. And then after all that happens, the parents love Coraline again, and it's a nice happy ending where everybody's sharing a fun little time together outside.
Yay!
Yippee!
Yay. I thought this was a fun, cute, quirky, spooky little movie.
Yeah.
Did you? You kept bashing on it the entire time, Tanner.
Did I?
Yeah, you kept saying things like, "Oh man, I bet all those fucking Hot Topic girls love this movie. Look at Coraline, she's so quirky. She's got blue hair and shit."
That's all true, though. That's not me bashing it. That's all factual statements.
You said you can't take the movie seriously because the only thing that you can imagine at the moment whenever you're watching it is just some girl sitting next to you being like, "Oh my god, she's just like me. I love Coraline. She's just like me."
I never said, you added that I can't take it seriously part. I did say that second half. You're just making shit up right now.
Tanner, you hated this movie.
I didn't hate this movie. I actually liked it quite a bit.
Anyways, let's get the elephant out of the room, that being the visual style this movie's presented in, that being stop-motion animation. I think it's gorgeous. I think they do a really good job. I think this is probably my favorite stop-motion animated film. I haven't really seen a ton of them, but this is definitely trumps any of the other contenders.
You haven't seen Box Trolls?
No.
You haven't seen Kubo and the Two Strings?
No. I've seen like Fantastic Mr. Fox. I want to watch that one again because I know that one's pretty solid as well.
Yeah, lots of people love that one.
I think I watched that one a bit too young. I don't really understand what's going on in it.
This movie is pretty solid overall for me as well. The only things I really don't like that much, but it's not even really like that much of a detractor because it's kind of just what the movie is. It leans, I said it's a horror fantasy, or I guess like horror like fantasy adventure thing. They have like a lot of random moments that kind of like, I don't know if you'd say they're like to appeal to children, but like when they're doing like the shows for her and stuff, I don't know. There really isn't like a ton of value in those scenes for me.
Yeah, I feel like the little mice section in particular, I was like, I don't fucking care about these mice doing their stupid little bullshit.
Yeah, I'm absolutely vastly more interested in advancing the plot of what's going on with like the mom, the creepiness and all that stuff, and they had a lot of just scenes where she's just talking to her quirky neighbors and kind of just wasting time. And I think those are probably my biggest gripes with the movie, honestly.
See, in reference to that, though, I viewed that as actually progressing the plot. And I'm only saying that in an abstract way because this world is trying to accomplish convincing her to stay, to show her that this world is more interesting than the one that she currently inhabits. And right now, her neighbors are boring. She doesn't like them. They're not. There's nothing going on with them in her
I don't
world.
think they're boring, or she doesn't like them.
Yeah.
Well,
She seems to get along with them just fine.
But okay, sorry, I misspoke. However, the other world is showing that these people are more entertaining. There's more entertainment value in this other world, which is what the mother is trying to accomplish overall. So I think going to these shows with the mice and then seeing the two ladies perform, I think that actually is overall progressing the plot, because I think that's just the other mother's way of trying to convince Coraline to stay. It's all part of her master plan, which also ultimately ends up failing in the end. But in my mind, I was like, okay, this is the other mother trying to fulfill her goal of capturing Coraline and making her stay.
Yeah, so, but if those scenes are meant to be like entertaining Coraline, shouldn't they also be like trying to entertain us so we can kind of resonate more with Coraline and be like, yeah, I can definitely see why she wants to stay. This is really cool. I'm enjoying this as well, Coraline.
I mean,
I think the big part about it, I should have rephrased, I guess, is I understand the point of them is to like show her like how awesome the world is or all these cool things she can do and see in it. But mostly that they just drag on a lot. Like the mice scene, the dance opera thing they were doing. It just goes on for quite some time. I really just don't see like the value in a lot. Like I like when they did like the rehash scenes where like spooky when they're trying to get the eyes back.
Yeah.
But
Tanner hated that fucking dance scene as well. He was having a hard time looking at the screen. He spit up a little bit on himself.
I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, I guess the other bigger issue I have with this movie as well is the eyes. Getting back to the eyes thing seemed really out of place for me. I really couldn't like take it seriously. Especially when the ghosts were talking. Like it kind of felt like they were like going into some fucking video game-esque thing.
Yeah,
and it felt really out of place for me.
Huh?
Please, madam, return our eyes to ice.
Especially they're trying to find the eyes. But there's only one eye per kid. What the fuck is the deal with that?
And they don't even look like eyes.
Because they weren't. One was like a shift knob.
It's just symbolism.
Yeah, but I was about to say something about that and I immediately fucking forgot. Oh yeah, I like the idea that all the neighbors kind of know what's going on as well. Like they're aware of what's happening, but they're maybe like not knowledgeable enough to actually like do something about it. Like for example, the grandma is pretty aware of it with like the doll.
Yeah.
The fucking upstairs neighbor guy knows about it because of the rats whispering stuff. And then also the downstairs neighbors, I'm assuming, are aware of it because they made her that device that lets her see the eyes in the world.
Yeah.
I think that was coincidence.
Which is a little bit of world building, I suppose. It also makes me kind of concerned that they're like, I don't know, if in on it or something. I don't know why they're not trying to prevent this further from happening, I guess.
I think they just don't really know any specifics about it. They know there's something weird going on. They just don't know what exactly it is.
Yeah, that's a fair speculation. I will say my strength or weakness, however you want to portray this, is I do, in some scenarios, I do tend to immerse myself in the actual world of whatever the movie or book or whatever I'm doing. Just because of the fact
Coraline.
Not necessarily that, but because you were talking about how like the mice scene wasn't entertaining. Honestly, like I wasn't one way or another, but I was acknowledging that it was part of the movie, and like I don't know, I guess I could say I was entertained, but that's because I guess I wasn't viewing it from an audience perspective necessarily. I don't think I really view a lot of these movies unless I want to.
I mean, if you are the audience and if you're entertained watching it, then it worked for you. It just didn't work for like Nico. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think one thing that I'm always constantly worried about is I have to view these movies the same as you guys, and that's
You
That's
don't.
not
You
the-
don't.
that's
Though
not
your
the
whole
case
point of
here.
this is that you view the movies yourself and give your own ratings based on your own experience.
Yeah, it would just help if, if I gave a rating, you guys wouldn't question me whenever I do.
That's your fault.
Well, no, we're still allowed to question.
No,
you.
I mean, like, outside the obvious reasons. Anyway, go on.
I agree with Jackson to the extent that, and I do believe I said this while we were watching it, I felt like I wanted to get to the twist of, the other world being evil and whatever a bit quicker, and a way they would have accomplished that is by definitely cutting down on the amount of time the Wonders took up. The Garden one didn't seem like it took very long at all, so they probably could have just made the other two more of that length. But yeah, and I kind of agree with Jackson on how the ghosts and the eye quest kind of just comes out of nowhere. I imagine
need more to happen in the movie.
Yeah, it kind of seems like that was the case, but instead they could have just, come up with some reason why Coraline need to go back to each of those 3 locations in order to just save her parents. Like, that's... in my opinion, a compelling
3 keys to unlock a door they're trapped in or something.
Yeah, some shit like that. In my opinion, that's a compelling enough. Like, saving her parents is a compelling enough reason for her to go back into the world. We didn't need to have the weird ghost thing.
Yeah, like the only purpose the ghosts really serve in the plot at all is just them explaining the fact that if she does in fact go through with getting the button so to rise, she's just gonna get fucking like eaten or killed by the demon chick anyways, which is fine. I like that they had that exposition, but the ghosts really don't serve any other purpose other than the fucking game
exposition
thing they do. I thought they were gonna do more with it at the end because I honestly forgot what they did with it, but they don't really do fucking anything. Like she mentions like they're free or something to the grandma, and then nothing happens with it afterwards.
I'd have been fine with have it be one ghost, even have it be YB's grandma's sister. Don't do the eye thing, and you can have her explain, here's how the buttons work, and I'm trapped here until you, kill the mother, or whatever.
Yeah.
I also, personally, this is just like a little gripe with me. Like, whenever, like, a villain makes a deal with, like, our hero character or whatever, and they just, like, go back on the deal, I don't like that, personally, very much. I much prefer it if, like, you know, they do it. They did the thing that they were promised. But then, like, there's some kind of little twist with it, you know? There's some twist that they weren't anticipating. That's just far more interesting to me.
Kind of like I guess, a genie wish, I guess, is what you're thinking.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of just expected at this point, like, whenever our protagonist makes a deal with the villain or the antagonist, you kind of know in the back of your mind, you're like, all right, there's gonna be a backstab. When and where is it gonna happen? So I guess subverting that expectation would be rather entertaining. But I don't know.
Yeah, but that's dumb and lame. So
I personally don't feel that way about the Eye Quest. I just kind of was like, she's deriving power from killing children, obviously, or eating them or whatever she does, and like these spirits are trapped here, and it's like fueling this world, and in order to make sure this world doesn't come back, or at least is not as strong as influence as it was before, releasing the children's spirits, not only because it's the right thing to do, but also just to, like, you know, not have this world be powered. And, you know, I don't know. I guess I don't really think too far outside of, like, we're doing this now, this is where we're at. Unless it's truly obscene and, like, out in left field. So I didn't think the ghost children eye thing was weird at all, for me personally.
I think it would have been neat if you're gonna have the ghosts in it. I much would have preferred if there was, like, hints of them throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Instead of just showing up when she gets thrown in that timeout room. Like, you know, when the mother is, you know, being friendly and trying to trick her into wanting to stay in this world, have the ghosts, you know, like, whisper something in her ear, or they, you know, they do something
Ghostly
weird that tips off,
shenanigans.
They do something to tip off, oh, maybe I shouldn't trust the mother or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like, slowly peel
like,
back the veil.
Isn't it literally, like, the only thing that prevents Coraline from going through with it is she's just like, oh, I think the button thing seems uncomfortable. Like, she isn't really suspicious of the mom at all yet.
No.
Maybe slightly because I think the cat said something to her before that point.
Yeah.
But really, it's just because she's like, oh, that seems painful, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
She started to get that, like, vibe after they were being uber persistent about the buttons and all that.
yeah,
But,
yeah.
Yeah, I will also say, before I get to, like, a couple things also bothered me, I will also just state real quick here, I really liked this movie, okay? I really enjoyed it a lot.
We're ragging on it a lot.
We're picking it to death for no reason. But
We're giving it a bunch of negatives here, but ultimately I think it was a great movie. You know, a fantastic animation, had a good soundtrack, all that kind of stuff, you know. It was very charming overall, I would say. However, also, just like the little moments of comedy they try and get in here and there, where it's like, my name's Coraline, stop calling me Caroline. I didn't fucking care. They did it so many times in this movie. It's like, how are none of these people getting her name correct? It's not fucking funny anytime that they do it, okay? And then just
especially since they just did it. They just named her that so they could do those jokes.
exactly.
I mean, I viewed it more as this is another reason why she hates her real world and wants to go to the other world. That's how I viewed that. Nobody was getting her name right in the real world, so it was like fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
I think it's dumb still. I didn't like it very much.
That's fine.
Also, just like the way she fucking bullies the other kid. Why is that?
Yeah.
Girls don't like stalkers, man. What can I say?
Well, I think that is kind of the point, is that, you know, Coraline is acting like her life is, like, terrible in this real world, but it's just like, listen, her parents clearly love her. They're busy, okay?
Yeah.
And, yeah, she is kind of just, like, just an asshole, kind of. She has a real negative attitude. And so we're kind of balancing, like, she's a child, so she thinks her life is this, that, and the other, but, like, we're watching it and we're like, oh, well, yeah, that's kind of how it is. I understand why she feels that way, but also, like, she needs to grow up a little to get over that.
Yeah, that's one thing that I like they accomplished, I feel, in the end of the movie, because I think some people can interpret, oh man, the parents changed, like something in that other world affected them, and now they're better parents to Coraline. I think it was more of a mutual meet in the middle point.
I think it's mostly just because they say her parents got, like, that big break with their blog or whatever. I assume that got them, like, a decent amount of money and probably some more free time. So they could have spent time with their child, and the ending is just what would have been the product of them spending time with their child.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, just like one more little complaint, okay? This is my last one, I swear. The fucking like final confrontation with the fucking hand I thought was really stupid. I don't think it was very necessary.
Yeah, she could just like leave, because this literally like unboxes a can of worms with the fact that she could just leave into the real world whenever the fuck she wanted as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which ultimately...
So why doesn't she?
Yeah, I was gonna say, which ultimately defeats the purpose, like at the end, where she's like trying to get through the door on her end, and like it just ultimately gets closer, and then she finally shuts it. And it's like, why doesn't she just break through before she locks it then? Kind of thing. Or like chase her through the tunnel, you know? So
yeah, like also doesn't like the other version of like the little boyfriend. He's like, no, I can't go over there. Okay, I can't enter that world with you. Look, my hand is turning to sand or whatever the fuck.
yeah. Well,
I assume maybe that's because she had some sort of like restriction on him specifically that she wouldn't get put on herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it's because he's like not real. He's like a construct that she made.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, because I think she's the puppet master, and then she has all of her constructs.
They
and
show like
puppets.
the world's like deconstructing. It's all stuff she created. I think it's really just her like in her own world that she made.
Yeah.
Maybe she should get that bug ass over here into this world so we can have a good time. Ain't that right, boys? Ayo! Tanner, what are you ranking this movie?
I'm gonna give this movie a solid A.
Solid. Dylan, how about you?
I am also gonna give this movie a solid A.
That's fucking nuts. Jackson, how about you?
I give it an A-.
Holy smokes. I'm going to be giving it an A. Just an A.
Damn it, Jackson!
Crazy.
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm a contrarian.
It's okay.
I liked the movie slightly less than you guys did.
Yeah, anyways, that puts it at an A, unsurprisingly.
Unsurprising.
Fantastic.
2 A's and a D this week. Holy smokes.
Is it time to roll?
It might just
That means it is time to pick our new movies for this week. Jackson, roll the Patreon.
Oh, I can't wait.
I know what you did last summer. Isn't this a horror movie?
Yes.
Yes.
How convenient.
Right?
Thank you,
These are
Dread Pirate 46.
Going off
this
in a
are-
bang.
Deck.
This is our final round of our horror movies. So I'm going to be picking 2005's The Descent.
The Descent.
Whoa.
Sounds familiar.
And that's your good one?
That's my good movie.
Okay, so I'm picking my bad one. I'm going to be picking, I believe, 2014's World War Z.
Oh, you think it's bad?
Spoiler for Tanner's
Woof.
feelings of World War Z.
Woof. I know it's not a great movie. I don't think it's bad though.
Let me double check the year on that
2014 sounds right. Maybe 2015.
2013.
Oh, look at that.
My bad. I was 14 years old. That's what I was going off of.
Gotcha.
Anyway, there we go, guys. We are watching I Know What You Did Last Summer, The Descent. Wait, The Descent? Is that what you said?
The Descent.
And World War Z.
I'm excited, guys. I'm so pumped. I'm so fucking excited for these movies. And
if you want to...
Go on, Tanner.
If you want to be able to recommend your own movies, just like our patron Lucas Ledette did, you just have to go over onto patreon.com/Guapish and subscribe for only $1. In addition to getting in our Discord, which allows you to make your own movie recommendations. You can also suggest your own topics, talk with the crew. You get early access to every single episode and access to our exclusive pre-show, the Pre-Guap, and you get 500 slime coins. And finally, what your patron gets you is your name read out at the end of every single episode, just like I'm about to do, because I haven't done it in a very long time. Thank you to our patrons, Raheem Rajawani, Kyler Nikolai, I'm a Cat, Meow, 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 Top Ramen Man, Joshua Bean, Macho Man, Retard Savage, Tutbot, Lucas Ledette, Hunter, and Jacob Edwards.
I especially love you, Jacob Edwards, and please subscribe to the Patreon. You can come in here and talk to Dylan, okay? I know how much you want to do it. Talk to the man. You can do it.
You
if
guys
you
will
really
have
want to.
24-hour access to Dylan.
Yeah, we'll give you his
Sounds a
phone
little
number.
weird. Don't do that.
And as always, thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.